If you're thinking about moving to Portland, Oregon, you're probably hearing two completely different stories. One person says it's a mess, another says that they completely love it. I'm here to tell you that both of them are actually true. When Portland works, it really works. And it often hits people with a "why didn't I do this sooner" feeling that shows up in everyday moments. Here's what most people don't realize until they actually live here. It works best when you move to an area that matches how you want to live. I watch people fall in love with the city all the time. It could be as simple as having a forest trail that's walking distance from your house, or just how nice everyone is when you're going about your day. And I've also watched other people struggle. By mid-February, when it's rainy, it gets dark early, or maybe the politics just don't line up for them. But guess what? The city keeps moving exactly the same way it always does. So in this video, I'm breaking Portland down from A to Z, the way it actually feels day to day, the vibe, the trade-offs, and the small details locals take for granted. The goal is to help you decide whether Portland fits your real life, not just your weekend visit, so you can move here with clarity instead of friction. All right, let's jump right into our first section. A is for atmosphere. Now, Portland's atmosphere is something you usually notice right away. The city doesn't rush you, and it doesn't feel like people are constantly trying to prove something, the way maybe some other busier cities are. The volume here is a little bit lower, but not in a boring way. You'll notice people are polite, drivers stop at crosswalks, coffee shops feel like places people actually sit and say hello if you engage them in conversation. And there's far less stuffy suit vibes, if you know what I mean. I had a client call me after their first weekend morning here. They just walked to grab a coffee from a local coffee shop and said, "Aaron, everyone is so nice here. I can't believe it." That reaction tells you almost everything you need to know. I remember my own early moment as well. My wife and I walked to a local park near the home we were buying that was right next to the local elementary school. And guess what? Nobody was there. We had the whole complete park to ourselves. It was so quiet and peaceful, I knew we had found somewhere that we would love to live. A lot of that comes from design. A large share of residents live close to parks, and Portland has one of the lowest drive-alone commute rates among mid-size US cities. That combination quietly reduces that daily friction. But this atmosphere isn't neutral. It either grounds you or irritates you. If you thrive on stimulation and constant motion, Portland might feel a little bit slow. But if you like routine, breathing room, and days that feel a little more human, it can feel like a cheat code. Now, our job isn't to sell you a zip code. It's to translate how you live into the streets and the neighborhoods that actually support it. We get to know our clients on a deep level so we can pair that local and market expertise to match you with the absolute best home and community at the best value. Go ahead and grab one of our neighborhood guides in the description down below. They'll give you details on price points, schools, vibe, but your questions are unique to your situation. So if you're ready to get started, our number and email are right down there below, so go ahead and reach out. B is for belonging. Portland isn't really a best neighborhood city. There are so many cool pockets of town, and there's truly something for everyone. Belonging here comes down to alignment more than status, and has everything to do with how you move through your day, how much noise and energy you want, and what you do to recharge. Now, in the inner neighborhoods, life feels walkable, spontaneous. You can leave the house without a plan and end up fed, caffeinated, and mid-conversation with your neighbors. Streets like Alberta, Mississippi, or North Williams feel social without trying, and the neighborhood becomes part of your routine instead of just the place that you sleep. Now, if you move into close-in residential pockets, the energy softens a little bit. You still feel connected, but your days are more predictable and calmer. Then further out, and you get more space and autonomy, but also more driving and fewer of those accidental moments. There are certain suburbs with small town feel where you can still run into friends without trying too hard. This is where we help a lot of relocating families land for the best of both worlds. We have friends who moved here from LA to the suburbs and spent all their free time in Northeast Portland. Eventually, they moved back to Alameda and then everything clicked. On the other hand, we have a number of clients who loved living close in Portland until their kids were close to school age. And then those family-friendly suburbs started beckoning to them. The part most people miss is that belonging in Portland has less to do with politics or price and more to do with whether your daily rhythm matches the neighborhood you choose. Pick the wrong zone and even a perfect house can feel a little off. Okay, quick gut check. Do you recharge in motion or in stillness? And do you feel better around that hustle and bustle or with birds singing out your window? That answer matters more than most neighborhood rankings.
D is for daily life. What matters more than your daily life? And in Portland, it feels less like a sprint and more like flow. People here tend to optimize to reduce friction instead of taking the fastest possible route. And that changes how their days feel. Walking, biking, and using transit are part of daily life in the areas where Portland really works, especially the inner neighborhoods. Timing matters more than distance, and traffic here compresses into predictable windows. It's not rush hour all day long. If you have a little flexibility, your stress drops dramatically. And that's why hybrid and remote workers tend to really thrive here.
E is for environment. In Portland, green space isn't a luxury, it's woven into our infrastructure. Parks and trails are close enough that nature becomes part of a normal workday instead of something you plan like once a month. Forest Park gets the attention, but the quieter magic is in neighborhood parks. Tree-lined streets in places like Mount Tabor that people use between meetings or for a post-work chat with friends. Green space here doesn't demand effort, it absorbs that stress. And as summers get hotter, that tree canopy up ahead and park access also change day-to-day comfort more than people would expect. Some neighborhoods feel noticeably cooler and calmer simply because there's less pavement for the heat to bounce right off of. And then there's the water. The Columbia and Willamette rivers bring freshness and movement, water sports and waterfront picnics, easy day trips to Mount Hood or the Oregon coast, add variety and vacation vibes and spectacular beauty that you can just get done in a single day or just a 2-day weekend.
This is a biggie. F is for forecast, weather forecast. Portland has two personalities. Summer is our highlight reel and winter is the long documentary. If you only visited in July and then moved here in November, you didn't get lied to, you just didn't meet the whole city. Rain isn't actually even the hard part. Darkness and repetition are. Winter really reshapes routines, and the people who thrive here adapt their habits instead of waiting for perfect conditions. What does that mean? It means ordering a happy light if you need one in the winter, getting more exercise, traveling somewhere sunny in February or March. And seasonality also affects practical life, from heating costs in older homes to how early your day starts. But if you can embrace hygge, like our friends in Scandinavia, winter here is a lot more enjoyable. Have friends over for dinner, meet up for a yoga class and coffee, and embrace all things cozy. And then that first sunny Saturday in spring, watch the entire city blossom. It's like that scene from the Muppet movie. Everything is great, everything is grand, you've got the whole wide world in the palm of your hand. Portland rewards people who build a lifestyle that works in every season, not just the sunny one.
G is for growth. Growth in Portland happens quietly and incrementally. Much of the housing stock is older, which brings charm, but also maintenance and layouts that don't always match to modern expectations. New construction exists, but it is definitely more selective here in Portland. You're gonna see more infill new housing, which means neighborhoods already built out and they tear down a house, or there's like one empty lot, and then you'll get a builder building a brand new house. You'll see a lot of infill projects that are just kind of one-off builds happening in the inner city of Portland, and also in suburbs that are already built out like Lake Oswego and Westland. But in places like Happy Valley, Hillsborough, and Southwest Beaverton, you're gonna get more of those planned subdivisions. Now, density is increasing through small moves like duplexes and ADUs and fourplexes in Portland proper, rather than those massive developments. Because growth is constrained here by an urban growth boundary, neighborhoods tend to keep their identity longer because of this. Now, the trade-off is tighter inventory and a market that rarely feels like flooded with options.
H is for household math. Portland affordability lives in routine more than rent or housing costs. Two households can earn the same income and experience the city very differently depending on location and your daily habits. Walkable households often spend less on transportation and experience fewer time and money leaks. Households further out often get more space, but also more driving and some friction that adds up. Neither is wrong, but Portland is unusually sensitive to routine. So your housing choice needs to support the life you want to repeat at least 5 days a week.
I is for instruction. Portland can be an excellent place to raise kids if your life fits into your neighborhood. A lot of family stress here comes from long drives, bridge-dependent mornings, and schedules that look fine on paper but fall apart in the winter. Families who thrive tend to design life small, with short loops and predictable rhythms that allow kids a little bit more independence. Brian and I have 2 school-age kids, so we know how much school matters. You want to do your research often on niche.com or the Oregon Department of Education's website. But you also want to ask how your school choice affects your day-to-day quality of life.
Z is for, is Portland right for you? Portland usually isn't a city that you accidentally fall in love with. It's a city you choose intentionally, hopefully, and it rewards people who match how it works. It's a great fit if you value time as much as space, if walking or biking feels like a win, and if you like days that feel human, maybe analog instead of optimized. It might not be the right fit though if you need everything to be fast, frictionless, and always on. Portland isn't necessarily a good or bad choice. The right question is whether it makes your daily life feel enriched, natural, and aligned with what you really want. At this point, you've seen the real picture. A for atmosphere, how belonging works, and how daily life flows. How green space functions like infrastructure here. How seasons totally shape our year. Why housing changes slowly. How the household math works. And how families here build sustainable, enjoyable routines. Waiting rarely gives better information. Not making a decision is a decision. And waiting often locks people into the wrong version of Portland. If you've made it this far in the video and feel like Portland still might be a good fit, we'd love to connect and help you translate your ideal daily life into that perfect pocket of town before waiting costs you time, money, or momentum. We work with families relocating to the Portland area every day and have developed a process that makes that experience effective and exciting. Our number and email are below. Reach out. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next one.